What's up, Cone? Watch out, Cone, move! What is happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe with NeverState.com, and welcome to this week's training video. So this one, I'm going to attempt to do something a little bit different. Actually, at the end of the week, I have another seminar here on Saturday at Never State Athletics, so a lot of my brain power and extra time is going to be going towards that, which means that I probably will not be putting out another instructional video for the rest of the week. So this training video is going to hopefully be in place of that. Now, my idea is to do my normal training day today and take you guys right along with me and talk to you guys between my sets just to give you an idea where my head's at, what I'm thinking after that set was over, where I think I'm going to jump, what I think went well, what didn't go well, all those types of things. And explaining why I'm doing it as I go. And then later I'm gonna jump in on the commentary and go over when I'm actually doing the lifts, kind of critiquing what I think I could have done better or what I did wrong, or even if the one time I do something good, maybe I will mention that. Anyway, for those of you who have not been following along, I still have a big problem with the vomiting, but it's not stopping me quite as much and my body is starting to fill out. I'm able to hold on to a little bit more food, so I'm just feeling a lot better. So these workouts have going a little bit better, which is exciting. Now I still can't do a lot of reps and I still can't do a lot of movement stuff yet, just because it tends to make me sicker faster. Now about the reps, the problem is when I do bracing for multiple times in a row, typically if I do 4 to 5 braces in any given set, that's just like a lot of intra-abdominal pressure kind of forcing things up. And in my situation where you're half triggered anyway and you throw up all the time, that kind of, for lack of a better term, makes it feel like everything's kind of stuck up here. You guys have been there sometime when you've had the flu or food poisoning or something. And then once it gets to that point, it just kind of triggers more often, and then it goes into coaching. It ruins a lot of things. So I need to stay a little bit away from that, which is kind of nice because I don't really like doing lots of reps anyway, unless it is conditioning. So basic idea today is I'm going to try to hit a heavy deficit deadlift while in Olympic lifting shoes. Now, I would never tell someone to deadlift in Olympic lifting shoes unless it's something that you really like, because for the most part it throws you forward and sticks you at a disadvantage for the deadlift. However, I'm also going to be doing a pretty heavy actual continental clean and press, as well as heavy pull-ups, and I want the lifters for the overhead press, because if you did not know, lifters will help your overhead press tremendously. So I want them there, and anyway, deficit deadlift, I'm not competing in it anytime soon, as well as the more problems and the harder I make it, the better. So if I end up getting something really heavy, maybe I'll take those lifters off just to see if it's there, but honestly, today what I'm really hoping for is something above 600 on the deficit deadlift for a single, something above 300 on the actual continental clean and press, and I don't know. I've really been struggling with weighted pull-ups, so I'm just trying to get a bunch of reps there. So yeah, join me. Yay.
I forgot pants.
You're like a ninja. Dude. You're like a ZZ Top ninja.
So all of my weighted pull-ups this week are naturally going to be lighter, and that's simply because I'm using the grenade handles. If you guys look up, they're nothing more than, I think, 2-inch diameter balls that you hold on to, and it makes generating force a lot harder. It makes holding on a lot harder. It's just, in general, a lot harder. So I'm also using the Super Training Rogue wheels here for my actual Continental Clean and Press, and those are 45 pounds each, so it makes the gym math nice and easy. But man, my wrists were not ready for that nonsense yet. And then I finished up the giant set with just these blast strap rollouts on this Elite FTS box.
All right, so if you guys just watch that actual Continental Clean and Press, you'll see that my wrists are not ready to be doing that game. The limes definitely hurts my right hand and my right wrist a good bit, and it's been hurting me a lot, so that was actually pretty painful. But something I do that you guys might not know about, to stretch out my wrist, is all you need to do is find a line on the ground. Once you guys have a line on the ground, all that you need to do is turn your hands backwards like this, pretty much as far as you can, and then simply try to sit back on your butt. Don't let the heels of your hands rock off the ground. Try to keep them on the ground, and then just bring your butt back a little bit, and you're going to hate your life, but it will definitely stretch out your forearms and your wrist very, very quickly. Typically, I'll do a couple sets of rocking in and out for a while, and then I need to kind of roll them out, just kind of get them moving, and then I'll sit back in, try to twist them further backwards before I sit back further. This is also a really good thing to do before any type of front rack position, whether it be front squats or overhead press or whatever the heck you're doing in the front rack position. Doing this is always going to help your results.
So you get a little better shot of those grenades there. I just added an extra 25 pounds to my waist for this set. Still keeping it triples. Now, this 225, you can already see the lifting shoes there are tossing me forward more than it normally would be on a deadlift. So I really don't like wearing them, especially on a deficit deadlift where you're already further over the bar than normal. However, I wanted them for this actual Continental clean and press because that was kind of what the day was built around. The deadlift's just kind of like extra stuff for me. But I mentioned that box in the last little time I was talking because if you watch it, it is a box squat box. So it is not meant to be that close on the edge. So it gets really wobbly, which actually made my abs very sore.
All right, so the second set is done. I will say the weighted pull-ups actually went a lot better than I expected them to. So I'm going to jump up to 100 pounds on doing them on the grenades and see if that works out for me. I'm not sure. I'm just going to drop the triples and hopefully be able to stick with that. The deficit deadlift, very easy at 225. I won't really know how I'm feeling on the deadlift. I never really do until about 500 pounds. At 500 pounds, I definitely can tell you a little bit of how the day is going to go. Now, that said, on Monday, I came in and was supposed to deadlift. However, like I said, I was having some symptomatic line problems. Went to deadlift 225 and literally put it down and said, I can't do this today. So then I jumped back and just did a big ladder of doing floor presses and barbell rows because those are two things that weren't really hurting too much. And just did that literally for almost an hour. So I try to get through what I can get through. Now, the Continental clean and press, my wrist definitely felt a little bit better on that one after stretching them out. I will stretch them out a little bit more here before I go again, but there's only gonna be so much I can do. It's gonna be painful. It's only so many sets, so I'm literally gonna try to get through, I'm gonna make my jumps bigger, just simply that I need to do less of that to keep this little wonky thing out of the way. Again, it's not that it's hurt, it's just that it's going through all those problems with the Lyme, so I just don't wanna risk it, and it doesn't feel great. Another round.
And we're finally up to 100 pounds on the weighted pull-up, and that's where I'm going to stay for this entire day. That was challenging enough for a triple, so I just stayed there. Now, this is actually a camera shot that I did not intend to make it look like that, but that does look pretty funny. Yeah, so up to 225. Now, this is actually the last weight that I ever do on the Continental clean and press without my belt. From this point on, I'm all belted up, but you try to keep the belt off a decent amount for that clean because sometimes when you're bringing that axle up, it can pinch your skin between the belt and the axle, and it's one of the more painful things that you could ever experience in strongman, and you end up doing it over and over and over again. It's absolutely terrible. Blast strap layouts are hard.
All right, so none of those actually felt spectacular, especially deadlift. The deadlift did not feel good at all. I'm a little bit worried about the 500, but I know a lot of you are wondering why I am doing a Continental clean and press. And all a Continental clean and press means that you need to switch your hands during it at some point. The reason why you're doing that is because this is a 2-inch axle, and it's not exactly like you can strap in and then just clean it up. So it's really, really hard to hold on to something. Now, up to 300 pounds, I'm able to double overhand and do it. However, that doesn't really matter once you get above that. I want to practice doing the technique correctly. So that's why you guys see me releasing it, readjusting my hands, doing a little mini clean, and then going into my front rack in the press. Now, a little bit of history. Strange part was, before the clean, like the clean as you know, the clean like the power clean, everything like that, before that existed, people would be trying to get a weight from the ground to above their head, and people said if you could get it, because the Continental was the way that it always went, because barbells didn't rotate. It wasn't new modern barbells. They were like, well, this isn't really fixed, but they were fixed, right? They had like those weird cannonballs just fused to the end. So it was almost impossible to rotate that thing for a clean. So everyone did the Continental, throwing it up on the middle of their body, switching a hand over and throwing it up and pressing above their head. Now, if people were able to just double overhand it and pull it up, then he said you got that lift clean. And that's where clean comes from. So power clean, all of that comes from the strong manny leopard print leotards where guys are just seeing how much weight they can put over their head. You're welcome.
And if you guys have been a fan of the channel for any amount of time, you'll know how much of a fan of the weighted pull-up I am. I think it's an awesome way to put mass on your arms. I think it's a great way to build upper body strength. And it's not something I just advise people to do. Right now I'm trying to gain all my mass and my strength back. And that's why you see every single workout I'm doing weighted pull-ups and rows, because I think they're both that important. Now watch my knees here. See how they came forward instead of out? That is something that's not good. I really need to work on that a lot. That's one of the reasons why you see that bar coming forward and that press not moving as quickly as it should, is because I'm letting that bar travel out in front of my toes. Now this is 500. You look at my left lat, you just saw it completely unravel there. Did not keep that locked in whatsoever. That is definitely another thing that I need to be working on is really the mind-muscle connection of my lat just being locked in there. Now 275, this is where stakes get a little bit higher on the overhead press for me. I can tell a lot about the day, how the 500-pound deadlift goes and about a 275 overhead press goes, and there's Kona. Super excited about being there. He lived. Congratulations.
All right, so we just had a near dog death experience. Every once in a while those happen in the gym, but Kona and Nala just got to the gym during the overhead press. So I honestly don't know how that felt. I think it went pretty well. I'm not gonna review it because I'm gonna review this afterwards when I'm doing the commentary and stuff, but overhead press feels pretty good, pull-ups feel pretty good. Deadlift feels like junk. Most likely I got 2 more rounds.
All right, so at this point in the workout, I'm not even really thinking about the pull-ups anymore because I need to be so focused on this deadlift. I actually thought about taking the lifters off because they're throwing me so far. You see right there, that little pause? That was because it literally just yanked me forward. I thought about taking them off, but again, it was just making it harder, and I didn't want to change my shoes while doing all this. I was running out of time. Again, guys, here, look at my knees. They don't drive out. They're driving forward. Yeah, that's really, really bad. That's something I'm going to have to fix because if your knees come forward, then that bar comes forward, your butt goes back. It just is not good for shooting over. Now, this is funny because I hadn't reviewed any footage, and I thought this shot was going to be great. I was going to be so proud of it. Unfortunately, it went like that. Now, here comes my top set of deadlift. Funny part about this is watch my left hand if you're on full screen. I thought I grabbed my shoelace with my finger, so I lift this entire set without my left hand. My index finger is not really holding on the bar whatsoever. I was actually surprised I was able to hold on to it. Now, this is my top set of my overhead press. Again, the knees are messed up, but it's moving faster than it was. My core breaks down here. Ugh, I hate that. A lot of things to work on, but we're getting better. Definitely getting better.
All right, so I feel super fortunate that that went that well. Going into the 500-pound deadlift set, I did not think that I was going to get 605. I also did not think that 320 was in the cards for this tonight. So very, very good. I'm very, very happy about that. Not a bad day overall. I think I'll chalk that up to a good thing. This is all I can really fit in today. After this, I'm going to have to get to coaching, and actually right now I need to go walk my dogs. My wife was kind enough to give me a little bit of time to try to do this because a lot of times running out there with them was just too much. So I'm going to go try to relieve her on that, and then everything else is good. So guys, I thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys also enjoyed the commentary where I kind of pick apart my own lifting. Hopefully that was helpful to some of you, and hopefully some of you picked up some tips during my workout. If this is something you guys like, let me know, and maybe I'll bring you guys along for other workouts. Or if you guys like the old way better, then let me know if you'd just rather hear the full commentary. So I thank you guys so much for watching. Everything you guys do to support me, it really does help a lot, and it means more than you know. So thank you guys. I will catch you later in the week. Until I do go out to something amazing, guys, keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. If you're coming to the seminar, I'll see you soon.